Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very welcome. Well, today we've got a map that jumped off of the workshop at me and screamed that it needed to be reviewed. It looked really good from the thumbnails and it's a real life location, so there will be a few people that will really want to take the map on, and that's the sort of map this show is all about. Now, I will let you know there is going to be an elephant in the room, and if you want that sort of like surprise kept to the end of the show, when I say close your eyes, and I'll tell you when to open them again. I don't want to spoil it. It is quite important though. Also quite important is, well, go on, the daily reminder. That's right, hitting the like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people, helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Today's map is Jackson, Wyoming by Redshift __. Right, okay, are you ready to close your eyes? And a 3, 2, 1, close your eyes! Right, we're not going to talk about this. This is your start square, though. We're not going to talk about it because I don't want to give it away. And you may now open your eyes. Okay, we got mountains, we got a lake, and we got some flat land. That is all very nice indeed. And then if we go across to the resources, it's a little bit sparse, but usable. And I don't think we can moan too much about that. Okay, the fishing and the shipping. No, just the fishing. Mostly shellfish, a little bit of anchovies around the coast. Off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, there's no DLC required. We'll be using the Aguilvert theme, the realistic 1.2 LUT. There's a fur pack, some juniper bushes. They're my juniper bushes. The Norway spruce and the pines as well. Oh dear. Right, I'm glad I got through that intro. I really struggled, didn't I? Okay, right, so we're doing a little drive along the highways. The highways here, we've got split level. I'm not buying into split. When you look at the terrain that's around, this isn't terrain that says we kind of want split level highways. It looks more sloppy work than required, you know, especially as it's like elevated on the right, on the left, sorry, as well. Not really buying into it, but it's not, again, it's not the most hideous of work. It does get a little bit worse actually as we go along, but it's not the most hideous of work that you'll see. It's just not the best. Of course, does it really matter? Well, compared to the elephant in the room, and there are actually a couple of elephants. There's also something else as well, which, again, when we get to it, I'm going to skip over it. A few of you who have seen this show countless times will know, will instantly see it. And hang on, Bonbon, you didn't say anything. I'm saving it, okay? I'm saving it for later. I'm trying to pick out the good bits. I mean, look, for the good bits, look at the backdrop. Look at that. I mean, it's amazing. It's a really good backdrop there. Really lovely lake to build around as well. Some interesting shapes and of course it's a working highway. It's fine. It's fine. We've got vehicles rolling along it, and I got rail as well. Let me out, and the bridge. I like the shape of the bridge. Not quite parallel, but actually no. I like it more than I dislike it. So credit here. Let's just check to make sure there's no pillar on the opposite side there. Doesn't look like there's a pillar around there, but it isn't in the line, and that's a good thing too. So there is good stuff. There is good stuff. And we kind of got equidistance along most of the highways as well. So they do feel natural. There's no wibbling and wobbling along on this highway, which we do sometimes see with the long highways. It's good, solid work. And of course, the trees around here look pretty good as well. There's a lot of good stuff. And hence the thumbnails, hence the screenshots that ended up with this being reviewed. Now here's your main intersection. This is the highway, connects with another highway here, goes off to the fog over there, and it's fine. It's a bit clunky. I think it's probably it's not even a bit clunky. I don't know what the word is for that intersection. Again, it's not going to handle a huge weight of traffic, but it'll do, and it's off in the fog, so nobody's going to see it. Right, okay, so by now, a few of you will be saying, I've seen something. Yes, you will have seen something. And I am saving it. I want to relish the fact that the map, apart from the things which I'm not saying anything about, does feel quite nice. Although we do have some proper jinky janky. Haven't had some proper jinky janky for a while. That bit there, see the way it just like pops and bends the road out. Haven't had one of those for a long while. I'll say it's good to see. I kind of missed it. Kind of missed a bit of jinky janky. Heading down towards the start square kind of territory now. We've got the lakes. We've got lakes to work with. We've got the rail running across the top of the highway here. In fact, it's going to go across the highway in a moment. And this is a little bit... We'll have a look at this rail in a moment. We'll do a quick fly over it anyway. And it's not the cleverest rail, but it's okay. It's okay. In Cities Skylines rules, it's fine. And again, now moving into... It's not strictly the start square here, but it's close. It's close, sort of. And if we pull back and give you an idea of what this area looks like, you should see a little white dot down here. This little white dot is the big Sirotan. Sirotan? Sirotan. So it's got to be Sirotan, surely. By Ryuichi Kaminogi. This is some Japanese merchandise. A little bit like Hello Kitty sort of thing, I guess. And Ryuichi Kaminogi actually has one of these on their bed. Check out the workshop page. You'll see a picture of the original. And factoids, because factoids. John Merrick, the Elephant Man, died on this day, the 11th of April in 1890. Really as long ago as that. He got his name because he was deformed by elephantiasis, a disease which causes some parts of the body to blow up out of all proportion. His head was so large he had to sleep with it on his knees, and it was probably the weight of it which dislocated his neck and caused his death. John Merrick died today in 1890. There you go, the big Sirotan, the quirky asset of the day by Ryuichi. I've got another one from Ryuichi coming up next Saturday, probably. I say probably, it'll depend on the map. It'll depend on the map. I really want to showcase another one of their assets, but it'll have to wait. And of course, it also depends on what they release next week and whether there's something I need. I don't like to do the same creator too often, too soon. So we'll see. I've got one on the back burner anyway from Ryuichi. Right, anyway, the highways just zip off this way, off towards the fog, which will mean we'll have a look at the rail. And while we're doing the rail, I'm not going to talk too much about the rail. You'll be able to tell it's a little bit uppy downy and a little bit clunky, but it's not the most hideous rail you've seen. I have got a special trailer today, a special intermission. A new video I've been working for the last two... It's kind of my coronavirus video. I've been working for the last 2 weeks. Several hours a day on putting a big, spectacular presentation together, which is coming up on Sunday. A few of you have already seen the teaser trailer. And so I'm going to put this in today's intermission. There we go, a little bit... Ooh, bit of an ugly bit of rail going on here. But yes, I'm going to pop that one in. Please absorb it and make sure you've subscribed to the channel. You've hit the notification bell, because I promise you, you do not want to miss this. I am so proud of it. I'm really pleased with it. And it's something, well, I've seen other people do something similar, but this is my own take on it. And I just think you'll be amused or entertained, or at the very least distracted. Anyway, the rail there, we'll do a little bit of a junction here. I think we'll just head off to the right. You've got an idea what the rail's like. And then that goes across, out this way, across the highway, and into what would be the fog. Right, intermission time. And so we're back to Jackson, Wyoming by Redshift. Now there's no shipping at all, which may make a lot of sense to some of you. I think a little bit of shipping, even if it doesn't make total sense, is always a nice thing, especially if you've got a big connection on the right there, which we have. Now, water flow. Right, we've got some shoreline around here. This isn't strictly in the start square. The start square is mostly the lakes. This is where you'd expand out to, but there's not really any water flow here. We do have 2 lakes in the start square, and so you could draw from one and pump into the other, so it's strictly not a problem. But I just thought I'd show you that anyway. What more can I show you? If I come... Why are we frozen? What's going on? What was I doing? I was probably scratching something right now. And we move on. Excellent. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, let's pretend that never happened, okay? Loving lots of these things, like the lakes. This lake does look like it's like overflowing a little bit here. Is that a permanent thing or just a start of map thing? Let's have a look with the water spawn points. Let's have a little look and see. Oh, that's a permanent thing. Yep, that's not going to get any better. So not quite finished with the lake there. But then if we go up into the mountains, this is where it gets really, really pretty. And even the tree placement up here is quite nice. And most of the snow areas are believable. There's 1 or 2 of them. Looks like it's been painted a little bit too quickly. But most of these areas are believable and quite nicely done. Come up into the hills here, into the mountains. I do feel this is scaled down a bit. I don't think that these mountains are this size scale. They're probably a lot larger, but yeah, it's not. Doesn't have to be a one-to-one map, does it? Doesn't have to be. As we come back down to the big lake here, and we've got some more flooding issues going, permanent flooding issues going on here. Admittedly, I'll put the terrain lines on. You can see the big old drop away there as well. Yeah, the whole shoreline could do with working just a little bit to make it a bit more workable. So that said, we don't have any drowned trees in there, which is quite a nice touch. Would have expected a lot of those areas to be just completely drowned in trees. Got a few more areas just there on the left, which like marshy. We'll probably use those for screenshots. We come down here. Now this is actually your start square. This is where I'm talking about. So we've got the 2 lakes there, but note, we've got no connection. We've got drowned tree as well. Just the one there. But yes, we've got no highway or road connection. In fact, there's a few deep under the water too. We're a long way actually from the highway and from the rail. And with no shipping routes, you'll be completely reliant on building an airport. And if you're playing vanilla rules, you can't even do that. So if you're a vanilla rules player, this map is kind of broken. But more importantly than that, if we come back to this original intersection, this first one over here, a few of you may have noticed we've got a little hint of National Road there, and that is Network Extensions 2. I have checked, which means if you haven't subscribed to it, you'll load this map up and it will be broken. You just have a big old flat area with a broken square in the middle. Not what you're looking for. Right, so that is it for today. What do you think of this map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the viewer's choice top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. What do I think? I think it could have been. I think it could have been. I don't think it will be though. Aesthetically, I think it's got some very nice 4-star backdrops, but all told, it just feels like a good to high 3. So we're going to go high 3. High 3 is acceptable, and that's fine, and it's a good score. Detailing. There's some decent good detailing on here as well, like tree placement is generally quite good, but yeah, we got just a lot of things to sort out and tidy up. And of course missing things from the workshop as well. I can't go higher than 2, I'm afraid. Gameplay potential. Well, working on the assumption that you're a vanilla rules player who hasn't subscribed to Network Extensions 2, well, even if you do get the map to load, you won't be able to build anything. I'm sorry, but this has got a big fat juicy 1-star slapped on it, which is a shame because it really does feel like a map a lot of people will want to play. Jackson, Wyoming by Redshift__. That, it's so close. It's so close to being quite a nice map. So, and easily fixed, and it's something that I think if Redshift wants to go back and tidy that one up, that'll be it's worth checking out. See if it's been updated, and if it has, then maybe that's about to subscribe to. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing. Steam Weekly Chart tomorrow, and of course that video. Don't miss that video, because race day is going to be my best video of the year. I like to think so, actually.